Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. A shot of entertainment to the head. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment.
Welcome to the Everett Lee Show podcast. I'm Everett Lee. Quick shout out to everyone who follows me on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett_Lee, Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up. And of course, Podcast City Network, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. I have right now patiently waiting on the phone. She's been really good with the technical difficulties that's going through on this podcast tonight, but thank God she's not said fuck it and left. I want to welcome to the podcast tonight. She is the KZW, Kentucky's own wrestling women's champion, Harley Fairfax. How you doing, Harley?
Good. How are you tonight? Besides fighting with your computer, anyway.
Oh, I'm about to kick this son of a bitch. I am just about to kick it. I am about to kick it.
That can solve a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah, it can. It can. I know my 2-year-old daughter, she already kicked the hell out of it once, and it was one night right before I had to do a podcast, a live podcast. She kicked the shit out of it, and then after she kicked it, then it would not restart. It got caught in a boot loop. So I had to pull the thing. Oh
my!
Yeah, we were talking during everything that was going on, and we're talking about computers and the hardware and stuff and software. And you know what I'm talking about with the boot loop, where it loads and then cuts off, loads and cuts off. That's what happened with that. Oh. Yeah, I had to tear the thing apart. Yeah, and then I had to basically take my HDMI off my graphics card and put it onto the onboard graphics card because there was a problem with that. The graphics card got jarred. But other than that, I thought, it was bad. Other than that, I put everything back together and things went on. The show went on with no problems. But unlike what I'm dealing with tonight here with the computer here, it's chaos. It's a mess, and this stuff never happens. It never happens. I want to take this computer to Suplex City. You know what I mean there. And I'm glad you've stuck with me through this and with the technical difficulty and everything. And we're gonna jump.
I'm glad we're still sticking it out at least, so that's good.
Yeah. We're still doing it. Shows going on. If I had to just hold my phone up and get you on speakerphone, I would have done that. I would have done it like, I would have shot this podcast like an amateur iPhone style type deal, or Droid style, however you want to look at it. But other than that, at least we're live and everything's going good so far.
Right.
But yep. Yeah, definitely. But I want to get into and talk with you about a lot of things tonight. And first thing I want to ask you is, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in a little town called Loveland. It's right there in Ohio, just a little bit south of Kings Island, actually. So
nice
little small town, kind of like a Mayberry-ish thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too city-ish, but a little bit of a country-ish feel to it too, though.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I know where Kings Island is. I lived up in Ohio myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Everyone knows where Kings Island is. It has all the big giant roller coasters everybody loves.
Yep.
And everybody loves the Beast.
Yeah, they do.
Everybody's favorite.
They definitely do. The Beast is a beast. I've heard people tell me they rode that before plenty of times, and it is a beast. It is. It's a lot of people.
I love riding that one.
You do? I've never rode
Oh, I
it.
love that roller coaster.
I've been to. You ever been to Cedar Point?
Oh yeah, I mean it's just not that far away at least. So definitely,
Mhm.
I've hidden most of the rides up at Cedar Point, and I've ridden every ride at Kings Island.
Yeah, Cedar Point, the Raptor. That's one hell of a roller coaster, man. The standing up roller coaster.
Mm.
That
Don't get
is-
me wrong, that one is cool, but Millennium Force, because you go all the way up, and on a clear day, you can see Canada.
that's nice. Yeah, because it's right there off of Lake Erie. Yeah, you definitely look
Yep.
over it. And many times I've been up there, I've tried to look over and see if I can see Canada. Where's Canada? I was like, is Michigan over that way? Where's Canada? Yeah,
I did see it when I rode it. I saw it.
that's nice. I like that. I like that. When did you start watching wrestling? At what age?
I was I was probably about 7 or 8ish when my dad really liked wrestling, and so did his uncle, and so they were always watching it, and we started getting into it a little bit. We enjoyed watching it. We never got to see it live because we didn't get the opportunity to.
Mm-hmm.
So we just knew it was WWE and WCW obviously, but we never got to go to live shows. So we just watched it on TV whenever we could. And in turn, also, we didn't know that there was local places that did wrestling either, actually.
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of a new thing. I didn't learn about indie feds until I was about 23, actually, when I finally got to see the shows, and I actually knew some people in them. It's like, well, that's really cool. And then one of my friends got me a pass to go to a fantasy camp for my birthday. And so that was just kind of really cool.
Nice.
And then that fantasy camp, I just fell in love with it at that point.
Nice.
I did security, I did ticket taking, I started my training, I did reffing. I mean, I worked my way through everything as I was doing all my training. It's made for a very fun journey.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well,
that is.
Well, I say come September, I'll be 8 years in of doing this from nothing. So it's definitely made for a fun journey.
Oh wow, 8 years, and at the beginning of those 8 years, when you were watching WWE, WCW, when did you decide you said I want to do this?
Well, I always when me and my brother would watch it, we always wanted to do it. So we do the sibling thing of fighting in the living room and bouncing off the couches and everything. But we wanted to, but we didn't think it was possible. We thought you had to go down the floor, you had to do all this, you had to be the big name, and so we just messed around with it ourselves. I never knew you could actually do it until I met my friends that showed me I could do it.
Oh.
And that was done after I've done martial arts, kickboxing, everything, and it's like, okay, I definitely want to do this now.
Nice. When you were watching it, who was some of your favorites when you were watching WWE, WCW that made you? Who was your favorites?
I grew up watching Hulk Hogan, Macho Man were some of my favorites. I always loved Flair. Flair was a big favorite, and then just Undertaker for all those years. So it's like I loved those guys.
Nice.
And so they kind of influenced trying to do just be big and tough as you can be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to keep going, just be as tough or just as me as I can be, and just continue having fun with this as I go along.
Awesome. Undertaker, Flair, two greats right there. Dirtiest player in the game, and Undertaker. Did you like the Dead Man version of the Undertaker, or did you like when he reinvented himself in the early 2000s and became like the what do you call it, the American Badass version? Which one did you like more?
I like the Dead Man one because just like, I mean, I kind of grew up on that one. That one's like a favorite.
Right.
And I've always liked how Undertaker was. He was just so dark, but really, really awesome still. But he wasn't a bad guy or a good guy particularly or anything. He was just him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so whenever I do my thing, that's what I just try and do. I just try and do what I do. And so I've always loved Undertaker for that. I always thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I've always liked Undertaker, especially when he took his persona before in the late 90s Attitude Era, and he took that persona and he went more into it, like with like the, what do you call it, the Prince of Darkness, or the the Ministry of Darkness. I thought that was really neat how they basically just honed in and enhanced that, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was really great how he did that. And with Ric Flair, with the Four Horsemen and everything he did, that was great too. That was. And so seeing them on TV each week, you decide to get into wrestling and you started training, and you did Taekwondo before martial arts. And with your wrestling training, did you apply what you learned in martial arts into that too?
Oh, of course. I mean, when I got by the time I got out of the martial arts, I was already a second-degree black belt. And so that was at the point where I decided I wanted to take my journey into a different direction and use it in another way. And this was a fantastic way to use it. There wasn't a lot I had to change, if anything, because, well, I'm still trying to beat them. So if anything, I just have some more dangerous weapons than they do.
Nice. That's great. You got more dangerous weapons. I'm afraid to ask now.
Right.
I'm afraid to ask. Now, going into training, going into wrestling, and once you got done with your training, where did you go work at? What promotions did you go work at? Because I know you worked at Rockstar Pro, and where else did you go work at?
Rockstar was where I did a chunk of my training. I actually started everything at DCW, where the fantasy camp and everything was.
CCW?
Rockstar did a chunk of my training.
Okay.
What'd you say, sir?
You said CZW?
No, DCW was my first one.
Okay.
While I was at Rockstar, I made my way out to CZW's Dojo Wars for a week. And I did a week of training out there to try to get a different experience, and which was really cool. I actually did my very first match out there. So that was a fantastic experience, actually.
Right. I've seen that on YouTube. Your first match is on YouTube there. And
it's still up on YouTube. 4 years later, it's still up there.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's entertaining. It's really good, and you were different back then starting out. I can,
I was. It was new being in a wrestling venue versus being a kickboxing or taekwondo venue.
Yeah.
I also had a shoulder injury during that match. I actually couldn't lift my arm up very far.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I was dealing with the shoulder injury, but still I wanted that match.
Right.
I didn't want to say no. I wanted to do it.
Right. I was surprised with the suplexes that you were doing. I mean, I wouldn't even known that, not unless you're pointing it out right there, because you did quite a bit of suplexes there in that match there against
I was very
Brittany
heavy
Blake.
on my suplexes when I first started. I really, really liked the suplexes.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like going after a body part and attacking it, especially attacking the arm, leg, head, and
yep.
Yeah.
You find something you can get to, you do it as often as you can.
Yeah, you definitely do. Definitely do. Yeah, I was asking CZW, the Dojo Wars there. The video is up there on YouTube. I watched that, and then you mentioned you trained as a referee. Tell me about that.
I did. I trained as a referee at the first place, DCW. When I went to Rockstar, as I was training as a wrestler, they continued to have me ref. which was good for me. I really liked it. Gave a different perspective on everything.
Uh-huh.
I got a ref a lot of really cool matches too while I was there, though.
Right.
I got to ref a match for Al Snow, which that was like really, really cool for me because it was like, there's my childhood coming back full circle.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, the first indie show I ever watched, he was there signing autographs. So this was like, he's weird. I watched him on TV. I got to get his autograph, and now I got to ref his match.
Nice. Who'd he?
Right. It was like when who did he? He was against DJ Hyde.
Okay. How was that reffing? Because being a referee, I've always wanted to know. Now, being a referee in a wrestling match, you kind of know what your job is in there, reffing the match and stuff. It's pretty much a lot of people would think it's like, oh, all you have to do is just count to 3 and that's it. But a lot more goes into it too.
No. Yeah, there's a lot more into it. You need to be aware of where they're moving so you stay out of their way. You need to be aware if they're cheating. Most places have the back, have it to where you have to listen to everything around you so you know everything's going on. But I mean, then you have that's just for a basic match. Then you got the more complex matches when you have tags. You got people on the outside. Mm-hmm. What if it's a hardcore match? Now you got weapons you have to watch out for so you don't get hit. Which I've gotten hit by a few of those. What type? I had where Jake Chris was trying to hit DJ Hyde with a chair. DJ ducked, and I got hit in the head with the chair.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that one was, I forgot about that one. I didn't know until I saw photos later that I had a barbed wire board then dropped on my back afterwards. I didn't know about it till I saw everything after.
Oh, man. Damn, you took a ringer to the head, and
yeah.
Damn, you got beat up. You became part of the match.
Yes, I did. I've had one where I was reffing. I still had a broken arm from match stuff I had to do.
Right.
But I had a broken arm. I was just finally able to come back reffing still. Mm-hmm. And I had it all taped up. But the wrestlers weren't listening to me. They were just doing their thing. I needed them all to get back in the ring. It was a 6-man tag. They weren't listening. I climb up on the ropes trying to yell at them to get them to get back in. They still aren't listening. Mm-hmm. So I decided with broken arm and all, jump on top of all of them. Got their attention. I get in the ring waiting for them to come back. Well, they come back. They come back with every single one of them super kicking me in the head. So I don't remember the end of that one after that.
Damn. They showed how they respected your authority, didn't they?
Yeah, I might have pushed that one a little too far.
Well, you had to keep order. You had to keep order, man.
I was trying to keep order.
Trying to keep it. Now, when was the time you stepped out of becoming a referee and into being a wrestler? What was your first match like?
Well, like you said, you saw the CZW match. That was my first match, but I was still doing reffing. So I was still doing like some small things here and there, but I was still in training and still reffing. My big switch was when I went to CWE down in Hamilton, Ohio. That one's Christian Wrestling Entertainment. And I was reffing one of their shows at a Geek Out. It was an outside event they were doing. And at the end of the tournament, it was supposed to be the champion. Uh-huh. Well, he cheated. It was down to him and it was down to Midnight Man Ryan and one other person. And he cheated. And I didn't like that he cheated. So I took off the stripes and I took them on myself and I beat him for that belt. I have the heavyweight championship for CWE.
Nice.
That was when I switched.
Okay.
I was done wearing the stripes after that.
You were done. And you haven't been back. You haven't been a referee since then. It's just wrestling.
No, I haven't. Nope, just wrestling.
Yeah. With promotions that you've worked for, with them knowing that you've been a referee, have they even asked? Has any of the promotions asked to say, hey, you want to put on a ref shirt and get out there and ref? Or anything?
Actually, no, they haven't. I mean, when there was a show where there was a lot of snow going on, I was at a show up in Michigan, but neither one of the refs were there yet.
Uh-huh.
He asked the locker, they went through trying to find out anybody who knew anything. I volunteered to them, offering to do a guest ref spot if they needed to, at least. So I've made the offer. I'm not against reffing still.
Uh-huh.
I actually kind of had fun with it. It was actually kind of enjoyable from a different perspective.
That's cool. That's cool. That's like Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon, he actually went and became a referee before he did anything inside the ring. And he did a little bit of commentary there back during the Attitude Era, but he also did reffing, which is pretty cool.
I think it lets you see everything from a different point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got to see how the wrestlers move around. At least I got to learn that in a different perspective, besides just in training.
Right.
And I at least got to hear already how the crowd reacts to everything before I had to be a wrestler in the ring, which was kind of nice.
Right. That's cool. So, in a way, you have the point of view being a fan, watching it in front of you, and then you have that point of view of actually being in the ring and reffing a match between two wrestlers, and you got the point of view of being in the ring against an opponent. So you got three different points of views there. That's interesting, and that's unique. I like that. I've never really thought of it that way. That is. I like that perspective on it. That's a good perspective to look at it at. That you've had three different perspectives now of it, and not a lot of people get to see that.
No, and it's sad. I was going to say, I think more wrestlers should try being the refs once in a while. It does help out a lot.
The following support and sponsor Podcast City Network. City Limits Tap Room, sports bar in DeLand, Florida, has brew on tap, serve food, the grilled cheese is excellent. For upcoming events, check out City Limits Tap Room on Facebook.com/City Limits Tap Room. Atlantic Sounds has thousands of new and used vinyl records and CDs. If they don't have it, they can order it for you. Same location since 1982. For more updates on what's new, check out Atlantic Sounds on Facebook.com/Atlantic Sounds Vinyl. Sports Sanity Customs have worked with organizations from custom embroidering polo shirts to jerseys for your kids' baseball team. They do it all. Armed with state-of-the-art equipment and an in-house design team, they are equipped to take on your next project. Visit their website to learn more, sportsanitycustoms.com. Visit Sports Sanity Customs on Facebook.com/Sports Sanity Customs. 3 Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. Visit Facebook.com/3 Count Design for more. Demo Blast Studios, an explosion of imagination. Original artwork, podcasts, video, apparel and more. Visit demoblaststudios.com. Visit Demoblast Studios on Facebook.com/Demoblast Studios, the best family entertainment pro wrestling show in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky's Own Wrestling brings quality family vintage wrestling to a town near you. Kentucky's Own Wrestling offers a ladies division in wrestling and a training school. Kentucky's Own Wrestling is the current longest running Southern promotion. Visit Facebook.com/Somerset Kentucky's Own Wrestling. All supporters and sponsors are brought to you by Podcast City Network.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
Since going to different promotions, capturing titles, you made your way to KZW, Kentucky's Own Wrestling. Tell me,
Yes.
How's it been being in Kentucky's Own Wrestling?
I really like it, actually. I went down there initially, thought I was going to be my first match down there. JJ booked me. I was having a match. I knew I was supposed to be against a girl. I got figured out when I got down there.
Uh-huh.
It's like, all right, cool. I go out there, and here comes out Michelle. It's like, all right, this is going to be good. I can't wait for this match. Our first match got interrupted by two guys coming out. And so my first match at KZW was me and Michelle against, it was Johnny Suede and B.W. Anderson. Yeah, that was my first match down there, and that was I really liked it after that. It's like, I like where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And then when the women's title came back out, I didn't get it when it came out. Kind of got hit in the head with a stop sign.
Ooh.
But yeah, that one was between Jennifer moving me in the way of my partner swinging a stop sign at the Christmas hardcore match.
Wow.
But it's okay. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
I knew I'd eventually get it. Jennifer stole it from Michelle in a very dirty way. She hit her. And, I mean, she stole it from her.
She stole the title.
But yeah, Jennifer got the title. Stole the title from Michelle. But I've got it back from Jennifer. She says I cheated. I did not cheat. I do not cheat to get titles. She wants to try it again. I'll still keep the title.
And that was at the last event last month, right?
That was the paddle on the pole was the last event that we had.
Yes, the paddle on the pole match. And you beat
and
her.
I still beat her in that one.
And
I beat all the girls, actually. It was all the women were out there. It was a free-for-all. Nobody had a friend.
and
everybody went after it. They teamed up and threw me out. They were trying to team up against me, but it didn't work out. The moment I got that paddle, I jumped off those ropes. They scattered. They were afraid. They should be afraid.
Yeah, they definitely should, because you ended up with the KCW Women's Championship, and you are the champ. You're the champ.
Yep, I'm going to hang on to that title as long as I can. That title is in a very good place right now.
Yep. Now, with you being called a cheater, you have any more you want to add to that? You want to have anything you want to add or say to anyone that wants to step up to the champ and try to take the belt from you?
You know, Jennifer may call me a cheater, but she has no room to talk on call me a cheater. She has hit somebody with the belt. She's the cheater outright. Now, if anybody wants to try and come play fair to get this title and not cheat, you're more than welcome to. But I bet you I'll still keep it. It's going to be my title for a while.
Nice. Well, I do want to say congratulations on winning the championship, and I do hope that you do keep the title for a very long time in KCW, and you basically represent KCW, and that's awesome, and I do hope you...
I love that I get to do that. So I'm actually very proud that I get to represent KZW that way.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is. And I do hope that you do get to keep the championship for a very long time. I definitely do. And we mentioned JJ McGuire, or as everyone calls him, Mr. McGuire. How is it working in KCW for Mr. McGuire? How is it working for the boss man there?
I thought it was so awesome that I was booked by JJ. I mean, he's JJ. I mean, when I got booked by him, I'm like, yeah, it's like, well, this is an opportunity I wouldn't want to pass up.
Right.
I've already been doing these other little feds, just running into some people here and there. And then here is JJ seen some of my stuff and wanted to have me, and I'm like, well, I'd be honored. I'd love to. I think it'd be great.
Nice.
And he's been great to work for.
I heard he is great to work for. I've had him on the podcast before. I had him back on episode 103. I had Mr. McGuire back on. I had him on here, and then back on during the Podcasting Network 1 year anniversary. He came down here to Florida and attended that, and I had him on a couple times, and a lot of people love working with him. Other talent there. I'm not going to name. There's a couple of people that have a little bit problem with his authority, and they can't get along with him, and other people, they get along with him. And a lot of people, and I had one person say, yeah, I get along with him because he stays out of my way. So it looks like he makes sure things run smoothly, and he takes care of business because he is a legend. He's the great, master wrestling ring music. He created a lot of the themes that you hear on WWE, and one of the most played themes you hear is "Sexy Boy" by Shawn Michaels. So,
yep.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And he definitely does. He does good with KZW, and he does good with people that work with him. And then it's hell to pay when people who work against him, and you don't want to cross the boss.
I would rather stay on his good side, and he has not treated me wrong in any way. And because of who he is and who I know he's been around, it's such a privilege to work for him. I love that I get to. Yeah.
Just being in his presence and just talking with him, it's just great. It is, and it definitely is. And I'm looking forward to seeing more with what you do with KZW. I'm definitely looking forward to what you do.
On this month, actually, we have a really big show coming up.
Mm-hmm.
This month on the 30th, we have the Double Danger 4.
Yes.
So that's where we have 2 rings side by side for a double ring battle royal.
Nice.
That one's going to be awesome. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm going to be in the battle royal. So.
Oh, are you not defending the title?
Yes. I'd rather be the only girl in the battle royal if I am. Girls can fight with the eyes too.
Yeah, they can.
The other girls.
Yeah, they definitely can.
I was say, if the other girls want to join me in there, they're more than welcome to. But I am definitely going to be in there with the guys.
That's going to be interesting to see right there. 2 rings there. Kind of reminds me and a throwback of WCW War Games, don't it? Don't it?
A little bit. It gives you that feel of it a little bit. I think that's why I'm kind of excited for it, because it's like, all right, we're back to the old school stuff.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with the old school stuff, man. There is nothing wrong with the old school stuff, especially having 2 rings like that. That I believe it was Dusty Rhodes. They created the War Games.
A double ring battle royal is not something I thought I was ever going to get to experience on an indie scene level, honestly.
Right. That is pretty neat. That's pretty neat. So you're the champ is basically not taking the night off, but not technically taking the night off, because you're going to be in the battle royal, but you're not going to be defending the title at the event. And
I don't know. I don't know if that's yes or no that I'm going to do both. I don't know, but I know I am going to be in the battle royal.
Okay. I guess you'll just have to see what Mr. McGuire says when you get there.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's definitely how it goes. Now, you keep up with the current product of WWE, NXT, ROH, New Japan. You pretty much keep up with the promotions that's out there today, right?
A little bit. Not as much as I probably could, but I do put myself into a lot of training and try and get to the gym as often as I can. So I don't keep up as much of it as I would like to, honestly.
Yeah. Now, with what you know of the current products that's out there right now, who would you like to step in the ring with that you have not? I mean, you dream match wise, we'll say anyone from WWE, NXT, ROH, New Japan, any of those promotions. Who would you like to step in the ring with and have a match with?
I would love to have a match with Sarah Logan.
Really?
Well, I actually got to cross her paths when she was on the indie scene. I've refed some of her matches.
Uh-huh.
And the fact that I see her up there, I would love to have a match with her. Because I got to see her at a different level. And now she's all the way at WWE. I would love to have a match with her. I think it'd be great.
That would be interesting.
I mean,
That definitely would be.
Right.
Yeah. I got to see her. NXT came to Daytona Beach a few years ago, and she was doing a meet and greet right before the show, and she actually wrestled that night in a match. I cannot remember who she wrestled against because at the time there was so much talent that was coming in and out of NXT, and it was also talent they had that was not even debuted on NXT TV that was there. Some guy would come out or some just talent would come out. I'm saying to myself, who the hell's this? Who the hell's that? And then okay, they're not on NXT TV yet, because I remember seeing Steve Cutler with Wesley Blake when right before the beginning of the Forgotten Sons. I got to see that, and Steve Cutler had less hair and facial hair on him at the time. Yeah, but Sarah Logan, wow. What do you think? Go ahead.
I know, not a choice that anybody probably expected, but I give her a lot of respect. I watched her climb up through some of this, so it's kind of cool.
Right. She's good. She's good. I'm sure that when the time's given that she could show more what she can do, people are going to be impressed by it. People are going to definitely be impressed by what she can do, and she's not had that moment yet to actually do something. For example, Sonya Deville, she's had a little bit of a showing of what she can do, and it looks like they're going to be breaking up the friendship between her and Mandy Rose. It looks like that's going to be happening. That right there. Now, speaking of Sonya Deville, we'll even throw Ronda Rousey in there. How do you feel about two talents like that with their background of MMA and with martial arts being where they're at? How do you feel about that?
I actually really like it, obviously. I mean, that's why my newest look, to everybody thinks it's newest, is back to my roots, actually. It's back to what I originally looked like, how I originally was comfortable it felt me. So I love the fact that they're having talent like that now, how they didn't used to.
Right.
I planned on, like I said, I did this look from the beginning before Ronda Rousey was in WWE. But it wasn't really popular yet. No one really caught wind of it.
Right.
So I was trying to make my style fit in with what everybody wanted. But no, I'm at the point of I'm back to my roots. I'm back in a comfort zone. And everyone likes it. And heck, it works for Ronda Rousey. And it works for Sonya.
Right.
Following what you're comfortable with actually ends up making you a much better opponent in the ring anyway.
It does.
Stay true to you. You don't have to fake anything. You get to be you.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Perfect example of letting them be themselves is Stone Cold Steve Austin. The gimmicks that he went through and the changes in the persona that he went through. He started out as stunning Steve Austin, and then he had his little short stint in ECW Superstar, and then he was the ring master when he first went to WWE, WWF, however you want to call it at the time there. Right. And then it wasn't him. And then they let him be his Texas beer drinking, toughest SOB. Just let him be himself. And I feel that having a little bit of your... What's that?
I was saying that's when things got more comfortable for him. It just was much better. It was.
You could definitely tell because they let him be himself. Like, for example, going back talking about The Undertaker, like we were talking about when he did the American Badass gimmick. To me, I did like the change there for a while, but after a while, I didn't see Undertaker. All I saw was he put more of who he was outside into that persona there, that change up of who he was. The dead man didn't exist no more. It was more of him, just with the name. And I was glad that when he did go back to his roots and decided to become the dead man again, because that right there, it ran its course. It went a little stale there. And I do like the fact that you mentioned that you put a little bit more of yourself in there and to your roots, which is great because you don't forget where you came from and where you start. Because I think that's a problem with a lot of people not realizing where their roots are and where they started from after a while.
I was going to say, the jacket that I wear out to the ring, it's actually from my martial arts school that I learned from.
Right.
So it is my stuff. I tried running around for a while in just as Harley. I didn't use my last name.
Mm-hmm.
I did the whole trying to look like every other girl wrestler. Just, it wasn't comfortable. Just never felt right.
Right.
And so it's come this year. I had a friend talk me into trying to go back. They really just like, just do it. And it was for a special show. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. And it just felt so comfortable, and I just felt in my zone again. And it's like, nope, we're going to stick with this. So this year's been all about going back to just being myself at this point, which has been kind of nice. It's kind of worked out, obviously. I have a belt now. I have a women's belt now.
That is nice. That is. And again, I'm happy, and I want to congratulate you on that. And
thank you.
Anyone that wants to step up to the champ, do you have anything you want to say to anybody in the KZW women's locker room? Do you want to say to anybody in Kentucky Zone Wrestling, any of the women's talent in the locker room that wants to step up to the champ?
If there's any women that want to try and have a piece of this, you're more welcome to try. I'm just going to keep knocking you back down. And if you do end up getting a hit on me, you better hope I don't get back up, because I'm going to hit you harder, and I will pin you, and I will keep my belt. But you can bring it on. It's anyone who wants to challenge me for it, you're more than welcome to. You can go ahead and give it a try.
Nice. Well, there you go. She's holding on to the championship for a long time. So, any takers? You're gonna have your hands full with Harley Fairfax, KZW Women's Champion. I want to thank you tonight for coming on and sticking with me.
It was a pleasure being on. I appreciate you having me. I really do.
Yeah, I enjoyed having you, and thanks for sticking through this with the technical difficulty and everything that was going through.
Of course, no, I understandable. Looks like Deathmatch Russell's been talking the entire time.
He is Deathmatch Russell. He's always, every time I jump on and my show goes live, he's always right there. He's a devoted fan, and he's part of the Podcast City Network, which you can check out over on Podcast City Net. So be sure to check out Deathmatch Russell podcast there in the chat. Give him a shout out, ladies and gentlemen, right now viewing this live stream. And be sure to check out podcastcity.net for the Everett Lee Show, Deathmatch Russell podcast, and many more other podcasts, such as our new shows on Podcast City Network is Final Score. If you're looking to get your sports fix each and every week, Chris and Greg will get that fix for you. And the Best Friend podcast show with Jade and former female women's wrestler Hardcore Heather Owens. It will bring you different variety of topics, ranging all the way from humor to product testing to even talk and discussion about creepy sex dolls. Just some of the topics you can check out on Best Friend podcast show, brought to you by Podcast City Network on podcastcity.net. You can follow Podcast City Network on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and send a tweet to Podcast City Network at Podcast City Net. Subscribe to Podcast City Network over on YouTube for the latest podcast each and every week, such as the Everett Lee Show and many more podcasts. And be sure to subscribe and follow right here on twitch.tv/Podcast City Network for when the Everett Lee Show and other shows go live on the channel. I want to thank you for coming on tonight. And right before we close out this podcast, where can they find Harley Fairfax on social media?
I'm on Facebook under Harley Fairfax, and I also have an Instagram under hfairfax 2019. I don't have. I would say those are the only two I have right now, so not really much of a Twitter person. But I do have, like I said, Instagram and Facebook. You can definitely find Harley Fairfax, and I do have matches that do have Harley Fairfax are on YouTube.
Nice. Thank you so much. And next week on the Everett Lee Show, I'll get the technical difficulties fixed. Maybe I should hum my intro. Bum 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 bum. Everett Lee signing off. It works. I'll see y'all next week for another episode of the Everett Lee Show. Peace.